Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Miguel and today I will show you how to get started with Claude Code in 2026. Now, Claude Code has three main ways through which you can interact with it. The very first one, and the easiest by far, is by downloading the desktop application for Claude through Anthropic. Now here, as you can see, you have the standard mode, which is the chat, and then you also have the code mode, which can be toggled by just clicking on this button. Now here you end up on the Claude Code window, and you might say, well, these two look identical. Is there a difference? And yes, there is a huge difference, which I will show you right afterwards. However, I must show you the two other ways through which you can actually boot up this application. The very first one is the terminal. Now, Claude Code, as the name suggests, was created for developers. So the very first time that you were loading up this application, it was through the terminal. Now we actually have much nicer ways of actually using this type of tool. The third way is through an extension. Now, here this extension is on Antigravity that you can also download for free, which is a fantastic tool. But now that we have the desktop application, we can simply use that one. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat one very simple use case, which will show you the difference between the two Claudes, so Claude Code and Standard Claude. Let's start with Standard Claude, shall we? So here is if we go to the chat window, I'm going to ask Claude Code to open a file that's inside of my computer. When you use tools like this, so ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Grok, you actually want them to interact with the things that are on your computer, websites, files, things like that. But they're not really able to do that. You actually have to be proactive with them. So you have to give them what they must do with very, very, very fine details. As you can see, right now, I told him, hey, open a file that's inside of my computer, and he is not able to help me. So what could I do? If I just go on the Claude version, the Claude Code, I can use the same command, and Claude Code will actually browse through all of the files in my computer, find the very precise file that I'm asking him to open it for me. He can read any CSV that's on my computer. He can read any text file, any image that's inside of my computer as well. Now, if you start thinking, we just spend so much time browsing through useless garbage on our computers to get our work done. This is a massive, massive, massive time saver. As you can see, he actually says, oh, I found two dashboards. Okay, let's open them. I'm going to click allow once, and then I will get the notification. And there you go. Now, this dashboard, as you can see, was also created by Claude Code. Now, Claude was connected to my YouTube account, and the only thing that I told him was, I want to be able to track the performance of my videos, all of them. What can you do for me? And he only gave me a tutorial to follow to get all of the keys that he requested, and then he created this for me. I can actually modify it as well. I can tell him, I just like the color. Make it pink. So because he can code, and every single web page out there, every single web page and every single thing that you do on your computer is code, he can change it. So in this case, he's saying, okay, I'm going to update the file for you, and I'm going to just change the color. You don't need to be a developer to understand what he's doing. You can code in English, and you can actually just tell him, hey, I would love to have a tool that does this for me. I would love you to create a report with this information that is inside of my computer, and he will do it for you. As you can see right here, he is actually just browsing through all of the file, and he is changing it for me. It does take a bit of time because these are larger files, so you can actually use several Claude Code instances in parallel doing different things at once, which is something that is also a huge time saver and so simply amazing. You also have the standard the standard functionalities of Claude on in Claude Code, meaning that you can change things. Oh, there you go. Now it's pink. So as you can see, he just changed everything that I wanted and made the changes on the spot. You have the standard. You also have the standard functionalities of Claude on Claude Code. What do I mean by that? You can always ask him how's the weather. You can ask him to browse through the web. You can ask him to generate files for you. Everything can be done for him. You can change the model. So you can select Sonnet 5, Haiku 4.5 for different use cases. I personally recommend just using Opus 4.6. You can add files to him, so you can give him photos. If you don't want him to actually browse through your computer, you can just give him the file right away. And you can also connect him to older applications such as Notion and Drive, and every single other one that's actually on this list. Now, what I'm gonna do to show you his power is I'm just gonna leave you with one of my favorite use cases, which is just creating a game out of scratch. So here I will actually ask Claude Code, hey Claude, can you create a game of life simulation for me as an HTML file, and then you can open it as well. Thank you. And there you go. Now you can interact with Claude Code using your voice if you're on Windows or on Mac, and you will see that it's no longer just about prompting, it's simply about knowing which keywords you need to give to the AI for him to be able to perform. Now, Claude Code will actually read the instruction and he will execute it perfectly. If you connect this tool to your LinkedIn, to your Instagram, to your YouTube, it can actually do so many things. Lately, there was a hype on something called Moldbot, but actually on the back of Moldbot is simply Claude Code, and that's it. So here, as you can see, he is actually writing the file. That means that he is creating the file for me. And then I can simply click on the open button, and there you go. So now I just created with a single prompt a game of the game of life simulation, which is just mind blowing. I can even ask him to modify this to actually have an explanation of what this game is. Now, this gives you open skies in terms of anything that you want to create with AI. And that is why Cloud Code for me has been the biggest game changer in generative AI since the last 2, 3 years, ever since the creation of ChatGPT. Now, there's also some other more advanced features that we can learn how to use, MCP servers, sub agents, slash comments, and skills, and that will be the theme for the next video. But for now, if you want to learn more about Cloud Code, just subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be updating you every single week with the latest tendencies and also giving you tutorials on what you can do with these fantastic tools. Get to playing with it because it's really fun, and I hope that this video helped you a lot. See you on the next one.